That betrayal became a breaking point I couldn't forget. I brought my dad over once, just once. He was having a rough day and kept calling Jake by his brother's name, Matt.
Hey, Maya, should I just call you Mom now?
Maybe I'll just change my name to Matt and see if he'll sign over the house. Put a remote in his hand and tell him it's the off switch.
That's not funny.
Oh, lighten up. Alzheimer's doesn't have to be all tears and tissue.
He's not a cartoon. That's my dad. I helped him into the car, drove him home, and cried the whole way back. At a dinner party a few weeks later, Rita clinked her wine glass and said loudly,
Let's be honest, Maya only landed Jake because she had a sob story.
People laughed awkwardly. She continued,
And that father of hers, a ticking time bomb in a cardigan.
I froze. Jake chuckled along. I fled to the bathroom, locking the door and sobbing silently in the bathtub. My name is Maya, and I've been through hell dressed as a family dinner. My mother died when I was 9, and it left a silence in the house that even time couldn't fill. My dad, bless his soul, worked 2 jobs, janitor by night, delivery man by day, just so I could go to school, have a roof over my head, and never know hunger. He didn't complain, not once. But life doesn't pay you back for kindness the way you'd hope. When I was 27, Dad was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's isn't just forgetting a name or misplacing your keys. It's watching your mind fade like an old photograph, slowly, painfully. First came confusion, then fear, then moments of clarity so brief they felt like cruel teases. He'd forget what year it was, think I was my mother, or wander off to go to work at 2 a.m. And during all that, I met Jake. He was charming, confident, a smile that could make the room warmer. We met at a bookstore where he was pretending to read a book about classic motorcycles. I teased him for not flipping a single page. He laughed. We got coffee, then dinner. He said things like, "You're different," and "You make silence feel full." It was cheesy, but I'd been starved for love. I ignored the red flags, like how he dismissed an elderly man at the restaurant or made a joke about a homeless person outside. I laughed nervously. I shouldn't have, but I fell. Hard, fast, blind. His family welcomed me like a charity case, not with warmth, but with cold assessment. Rita, his mother, asked if I was on scholarship. Doug, his dad, asked if I cooked like my people. His sister Tammy joked I was rescue pet energy. It only got worse after the engagement. At a barbecue, Rita sat me down.
You want to marry a Reynolds? Then prove you're tough enough. We don't like fragile women here.
She threw me a helmet and pointed to 2 motorcycles. Jake tossed me a leather jacket.
Come on, babe. Just hit 120 once. Show them you've got guts.
And no screaming like a baby or you're off the family group chat.
I rode. My legs shook the whole time. I nearly crashed on a curve. But when I parked, Doug clapped me on the back like I'd passed a test. But it didn't stop there. 2 weeks later, they took me to a rocky cliff where people were cliff jumping.
Let's see if she really has the balls.
She's got to prove she's not just marrying Jake for the last name.
Come on, babe. It's water. Just jump.
I jumped. I screamed. I bruised my thigh on a rock below. Nobody checked on me. One night, during a tense family dinner, Rita passed me a folder and said, "Just sign this so we can move forward with Dad's meds." I paused. Something felt off. I read the form. It wasn't for medication. It was a consent form to place my father in a nursing home. No discussion, just trickery. My hands trembled as I dropped the pen. You tried to institutionalize my dad behind my back?
We're just trying to help. You're too emotional to handle this.
That betrayal became a breaking point I couldn't forget. I brought my dad over once, just once. He was having a rough day and kept calling Jake by his brother's name, Matt.
Hey, Maya, should I just call you Mom now?
Maybe I'll just change my name to Matt and see if he'll sign over the house. Put a remote in his hand and tell him it's the off switch.
That's not funny.
Oh, lighten up. Alzheimer's doesn't have to be all tears and tissue.
He's not a cartoon. That's my dad. I helped him into the car, drove him home, and cried the whole way back. At a dinner party a few weeks later, Rita clinked her wine glass and said loudly,
Let's be honest, Maya only landed Jake because she had a sob story.
People laughed awkwardly. She continued,
And that father of hers, a ticking time bomb in a cardigan.
I froze. Jake chuckled along. I fled to the bathroom, locking the door and sobbing silently in the bathtub. Later, someone at the party anonymously posted about the incident. I was at a dinner where a woman was publicly humiliated for taking care of her sick dad. Her in-laws were monsters. The post went viral. People began to piece together the Reynolds family reputation. Months passed. Then a video leaked. It was Tammy's boyfriend, filming during a birthday party. Dad had wandered into the pantry and tried to microwave frozen peas with the plastic still on.
Oh my god, is he making plastic stew?
At least he's not trying to iron soup again. We should set up a GoFundMe for brain batteries.
The video hit Twitter. 50,000 views overnight. The backlash was merciless. Alzheimer's organizations called them out by name. Jake said it was dark humor. I said it was bullying. 6 months later, Tammy was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. She was 33. The Reynolds house turned to panic. But the world wasn't kind. At her care center, the nurses giggled behind her back. Patients whispered. The video came back to haunt them.
That's Tammy Reynolds? The Alzheimer's mean girl? The punchline.
Tammy would scream at her reflection, call Rita teacher, and Doug milkman. And no one pitied them. Jake stopped visiting after a month. I kept going, not for Tammy, but to look her in the eyes during her lucid days and say, "Do you remember now?" One afternoon, in a moment of rare clarity, Tammy looked at Rita and whispered, "You laughed at this. You laughed at this." Then she lunged, screamed, scratched. Doug had to pull her away, his face pale. That night, I heard Rita sobbing in the hallway. We didn't deserve this. We were at the mall, grocery shopping. I was reaching for apples. Jake stopped beside me, nudging my arm.
You see that?
A boy in a wheelchair, maybe 10, rolled by with his mom. His spine was curved, and one hand curled at an odd angle.
That's what happens when you microwave the baby.
What the hell is wrong with you?
You should be ashamed.
What? It's a joke. Calm down.
A little girl standing nearby tugged her mother's sleeve. Mommy, why is that man so mean? The mother filmed the entire interaction, including her daughter's question. That video went viral faster than wildfire. The top comment read, "Even children know better than this grown man." Jake was fired by morning, his LinkedIn filled with hate. Even Rita tried to say it was edited out of context. Rita had a public breakdown. She smashed plates at home, yelled at the TV, and even went on a podcast to apologize. But the moment she screamed, everyone laughed when we joked about Alzheimer's, until it was my daughter. It became a meme. That line haunted her online for months. A week later, Jake came home drunk. He slammed the door, kicked a chair, and glared at me.
You enjoying this? You happy I'm the villain now?
You did it to yourself.
If you weren't so soft, none of this would have happened.
He shoved me. I hit the wall. My father's picture cracked on the floor.
Maybe I should have let Tammy pick someone who actually deserved me.
I left that night. I took only my clothes and the sculpture Dad carved when I was 10. Within days, everything came crashing down for them. The internet doxed their address. Protesters gathered. Some threw stones at the house. Someone keyed their car. Another stole it.
We're being harassed. This is too much.
This is cancel culture. We raised our kids with discipline.
But no one listened. No one cared. The world remembered their laughter. They fled the state in the dead of night. In the new state, Jake's parents are forced to take care of Tammy. Jake tried to rebuild his life in another city. He married again. This time, a hard, bitter woman named Krista. She was nothing like me. Doug and Rita were left to care for Tammy, changing diapers, soothing her screams, cleaning up her accidents. Neighbors reported hearing her screaming at him. She slapped him at a gas station once. It went viral.
You think you're a man? Mock a disabled kid again and I'll break your teeth.
Jake became a joke. Again. Another time. He went out to dinner once with Krista and some colleagues. Krista caught him mocking their waiter who had a limp. She stood up, threw a drink in his face, and shouted, You want to get canceled again, Jakey boy? Let's see how fast you lose this job, too. Someone caught it on video. Another viral downfall. I started speaking out. I wrote a post called, "They Laughed at My Father's Illness." It struck a nerve. Alzheimer's support groups shared it. National caregivers networks reposted it. I was invited to speak at conferences. I told our story not for pity, but for truth. Now, I take care of my father full-time. He forgets my name sometimes, but he still hums the song Mom used to sing. That's enough. One morning, as I was brushing his hair, he looked at me, clear-eyed, and whispered,
Maya, I always knew you'd survive them.
I broke down right there. It was the first time he'd said my name in months. That was the moment I knew I was free. Sometimes I look at the viral videos of Jake and his family being humiliated, attacked, chased offline, and I remember they laughed at illness. They laughed at weakness. And now, no one's laughing with them anymore. Only at them. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. It wore a uniform and arrogance as its badge of honor.
Excuse me, ma'am. You can't bring that dog in here.
I paused near the produce aisle. The tone struck me like an open palm.
Look at this, folks. A blind woman claiming she's got a right to bring a mutt into a grocery store. You doing tricks with it too? What? He pick your apples for you?
A burst of laughter from someone near the deli. My cheeks flushed. Luna pressed against my legs protectively. Please stop, you're causing a scene. I just want to buy some groceries.
Buy groceries? What are you buying, ma'am? Hope you brought Braille bananas.
More laughter. A manager hovered in the background, useless.
What's this thing do anyway? Bark once for red apples and twice for green?
He reached for Luna's leash. My hand moved fast, but not fast enough. Don't touch her, please, she's all I have.
Oh, now I get it. You trained it to help you scam sympathy. Good gig.
Then he yanked the leash. Luna yelped. My stomach dropped. He took her from me. In that moment, he didn't just break the law, he broke me. I wasn't born blind. It happened the summer I turned 12. My first dog, Charlie, ran into the street chasing a tennis ball. I ran after him, screaming his name. I didn't see the car. The driver swerved to avoid Charlie and hit me instead. I woke up 2 days later in a hospital with bandages over my face, my mother's hand wrapped around mine, and a whisper of words I didn't understand. The optic nerve, severely damaged. She won't see again. Charlie lived. I didn't. At least not the version of me that could see sunsets or my mother's face. My new life was darkness, and learning to trust my other senses. It was Luna, 6 years later, who taught me how to walk again, without fear. Which is what made what happened at the mall so unforgivable. It happened on a rainy Thursday, one of those days when even the clouds seemed to whisper that something cruel was coming. I walked into Baxter's Market with Luna, my golden retriever guide dog. She trotted beside me, proud and purposeful. I wore my sunglasses and had my white cane folded neatly in my coat pocket. Luna was all I needed today. I didn't hear the trouble coming. It wore a uniform and arrogance as its badge of honor.
Excuse me, ma'am. You can't bring that dog in here.
I paused near the produce aisle. The tone struck me like an open palm.
Look at this, folks. A blind woman claiming she's got a right to bring a mutt into a grocery store. You doing tricks with it too? What? He pick your apples for you?
A burst of laughter from someone near the deli. My cheeks flushed. Luna pressed against my legs protectively. Please stop, you're causing a scene. I just want to buy some groceries.
Buy groceries? What are you buying, ma'am? Hope you brought Braille bananas.
More laughter. A manager hovered in the background, useless.
What's this thing do anyway? Bark once for red apples and twice for green?
He reached for Luna's leash. My hand moved fast, but not fast enough. Don't touch her, please, she's all I have.
Oh, now I get it. You trained it to help you scam sympathy. Good gig.
Then he yanked the leash. Luna yelped. My stomach dropped. He took her from me. In that moment, he didn't just break the law, he broke me.
By the way, where is your little blind card or whatever it is?
He said it loud. People turned, their carts stilled, their pity stung. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, I don't have to show proof.
Sure. Everyone's got an excuse these days. How do I even know you're blind? You were walking like you see just fine.
The humiliation thickened, coiling around my throat like smoke.
Take off your glasses. Let me see your eyes.
No, that's not your right. He grabbed my arm, hard.
If you won't cooperate, you're resisting. I can escort you out. You might even spend the night in a cell for disturbing the peace.
Someone murmured something from behind. She's blind, man. But no one stepped forward. He shoved me gently, but in my darkness, even gentle force turns violent. I fell back. Luna barked in defense, only to be held away by another officer. My ears rang. My lip was split. My pride shattered. I was handcuffed. They called it a safety measure. That night in the cell, I cried, not just from pain, but from a raw, blistering betrayal. Not just by Halter, by everyone who watched and said nothing. My story might have ended there, if not for Serena. Serena, my cousin, was a lawyer. Fierce, loud, sighted.
You're going to sue them into the Stone Age, but first we're going to tell your story, your way.
We sued the city. The case dragged. Halter insisted I had faked my blindness.
She walked like she could see. No white cane, just a leash and a trained dog. Could have been anyone's pet. Officer Halter, are you trained to identify disabilities? No, but I trust my instincts. People fake all kinds of stuff nowadays.
I sat calmly on the stand, a spotlight of scrutiny in total darkness. I've been blind since I was 12. I've learned to navigate with dignity. That dignity was stolen from me by someone who didn't understand my world and didn't care to. The jury awarded me $2.4 million. But the real revenge wasn't the money. I wrote a book about my ordeal.
Call it blind justice. You know, like poetic revenge. Make it burn.
I wrote. Every word bled from that wound. I detailed the shove, the questions, the scorn. And I gave Rick Halter exactly what he deserved. Exposure. The book climbed the charts. #1 nonfiction for 12 weeks. A film studio optioned it. Talk shows called. I walked onto stages with Luna at my side and applause echoing where once there was silence.
Eva Miles, you turned a moment of tragedy into triumph. What do you want people to take from this?
That disability isn't a costume, and power doesn't excuse cruelty. But most of all, silence is complicity. Rick Halter was fired 2 months after the book launch. The department called it a necessary severance. After some months, I was at a book signing in Chicago when Serena walked up, face pale.
You're not going to believe this. He's suing you. Claims the book defamed him.
Let him come. Let the world see him again. He showed up to court clean-shaven, in a cheap suit, with a lawyer that looked like he specialized in divorces and DUIs. He spoke.
I lost everything. My job, my pension, my marriage. That book turned me into a meme. I can't go anywhere without being called dog thief cop or banana cop.
And I lost my sight and dignity, but I didn't lose my voice. The judge dismissed his case. The room burst into cheers. I walked out of the courtroom with Luna beside me again, my light. A year later, I received a package. No return address. Inside, a handwritten note.
You ruined my life. I didn't think it would go this far. You humiliated me.
And I smiled. Because sometimes justice isn't a courtroom verdict. Sometimes it's a sentence on a page. But the fall didn't stop there. Let me tell you what karma really looks like. One day, Serena visited me and said,
You're not going to believe this. Halter's GoFundMe for legal fees got flagged and removed. People flooded it with comments like, try working at Petco. And Banana Cop strikes again.
He tried to get work in private security. They Googled him. No one called back. A former colleague leaked texts. Halter begging to be rehired. Please, Dave. I'll take anything. Parking tickets, paperwork, I'm losing everything. Rick, I can't touch your name. It's toxic. He lost his apartment, then his car. He tried rideshare work. A passenger recognized him and filmed the ride. The video title went viral. Guess who's driving me? Mr. Braille Bananas himself. The company banned him. Former friends blocked him. Old drinking buddies ghosted him. Even his brother cut ties. Email from Halter's brother leaked.
You humiliated this family. People ask my daughters if their uncle is the guy who stole a blind woman's dog.
He applied to be a mall cop, Denied. Tried to teach security at a community college. Rejected. Former friend, on news.
He used to mock anyone he didn't understand. Disabled folks, immigrants, poor people. We laughed along, but after Blind Justice, we all realized he wasn't just a jerk, he was dangerous.
He sent me one last letter.
I can't walk down the street without someone whispering. I sleep in a friend's garage. The news made me a monster. You wrote that book to ruin me.
No, Rick. I wrote that book so no one else would ever have to kneel in the middle of a produce aisle with blood in their mouth and a leash ripped from their hand while the world stood still and watched. I didn't destroy him. The truth did. Then came the film premiere, Sundance Film Festival. I sat in the front row, Luna at my feet, Serena beside me. The audience stood when the courtroom scene played. Afterward, a teenager with her own white cane approached.
Your story made me want to speak. I reported my teacher last week. He used to mock me in front of class because I read with my fingers.
I hugged her, tight. Rick Halter moved out of state, changed his name. But it didn't matter. You can't run from who you were. And I lived. I teach now. Writing, advocacy. I help others find their voice, even in the dark. Some say I was blinded by fate, but I say I was sharpened by it. And in that darkness, I found the one thing Halter never had. Light. Thanks for watching.